Good morning, everyone. Grant, would you lead us in prayer, please? Sure.
Heavenly Father, we take this moment to pause and thank you for all that we're blessed with on a daily basis. As always, we ask your continued watchful hand over our nation. We traverse very turbulent times. We pray for the peace of other countries, that we can continue to be a blessing and the bright light in this world. We pray as always for our board and our employees as we move forward on decisions that are made on a daily, weekly basis. We pray for the families that work for our company as well. We pray that you'll continue to watch over and care for us, keep us safe as we leave this place today. Pray that you forgive us our sins and our shortcomings in Christ's name.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lance, would you do the roll call, please?
Commissioner Harville.
Here.
Commissioner Pitt.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Toller.
Here.
Commissioner Gould.
Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. Approval of minutes, we have regular minutes from May 27th. Everybody had a chance to look at those? Yes. I'll second it.
Commissioner Harville.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Toller.
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
We also have executive session minutes from May 27th. Everybody looked those over?
Yes.
Any additions or deletions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Close.
Commissioner Harville.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Toller.
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes. Public comments. Move on. Committee reports. Anyone?
The way the month is, my next meeting for the Southern Bible will be next Tuesday.
Moving on, building permits. Jeff?
Yeah, we've got one. It's on parcel number 140011-280-1. It's for a new septic system. There's no subdivision, no floodplain, recommended for approval.
You have anything to add to anything, Jeff, highway wise?
Well, I mean, we're just started kind of doing all our pretty heavy patching and stuff and prepping for oil and chips. We'll be starting that next week, resurfacing all our roads. And then the only other thing, I mean, we're putting another bridge. It's on Johnson Dairy Road. It's another old wood deck bridge we're putting out for bid on the 28th of June. So we'll have that bid letting stuff coming up.
Any questions on the building permit?
I make a motion to approve the building permit.
I'll second.
Commissioner Harville.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
Commissioner Toller.
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Moving on, old business, acceptance of FY 2021 Union County audit. And also item B, acceptance of FY 2021 Union County Circuit Clerk audit. We're still waiting on the auditors, hopefully by next meeting, maybe.
I'm hoping so. He said that they should have a draft copy to me today
So
to review.
Continue to table those two items under old business. New business, approve payment of bills.
I don't have the regular bill report for you. The bills are still being entered, but we do have several bills for legal counsel. I gave you guys all a report in front of you that shows right now they are already at $94,098 for what we've paid for so far. on a $70,000 budget. So right now they're over budget by approximately $24,100. And I have another $24,326.40 right here. So after we pay these, there'll be close to $50,000 over the budget. I have spoke to a judge, and they do think that this will start to lower a little, because some of this is our second PD that you guys put in has only been employed for less than 2 months. So, these are for cases that were appointed to third parties before we had the second full-time PD. But at the same time, they're saying don't expect to drop drastically, because with the changes in the law and everything, and they're doing a lot more psychological evaluations of people, and those are very expensive. So I don't think we're going to see the reduction that we hoped for by adding the second person, but we shouldn't see a substantial increase either. So
I talked to the judge also, and I mean, all indications are, especially with the laws going into effect January 1st, pertaining to all this, and they really expect a lot more psychological evaluations to happen. I think it's something we're gonna have to watch. But obviously, we're gonna have to keep in mind that we're gonna have to increase the budget time. Hopefully it'll go down some. I was in court yesterday regarding the county, and I watched about 10 or 12 cases, and all of them but ours got extended. So, I mean, it's a continual pattern, and I think 8 out of 10 of them had public defenders. So, it's just something we're gonna have to get used to, I'm afraid. We can put off paying this till the new budget, but then we'll have to pay it out of the new budget. So, I mean, I personally don't want to pay it, but we don't have a whole lot of choice. So, anybody got any thoughts or ideas on it? It's pretty much a sign of the times, unfortunately. If you've not been upstairs and watched court, you should. You need to go up there and spend the morning. And, it's a different world now, unfortunately. I make a motion that we approve paying these extra bills that are over the present budget. For the time being.
We'll have to do that every month.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I said, she's already got another 25,000 worth. This will probably continue from here till the end of the year, so we'll just have to make do.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Aren't we budgeting issues with the sheriff's office also? So that's what we do.
Well, yes and no. I mean, there's funds there to take care of it, but that problem's been resolved. Next item. Tourism grant, applicant Shawnee Wine Trail. They appeared before the Hotel Operators and Occupancy Tax Board. I haven't read this totally, but they recommended an amount, the board did, of $17,250. This is one that we normally do every year. I'm good with it. If anybody has any questions, looking over the application.
No, I'm good with it. I'm on that particular board, and I did notice, I didn't attend the last meeting, it was an oversight. And also, the good lady that usually lets us in for the meetings, she wasn't present either, so I guess they had their meeting on the steps, so, but it was brought up that we're gonna start moving the meetings out to the show, out there to the tourism building out there, and I think that'd be a good thing. And so, yeah, and it is accessible to the public. Anybody that wants to come and look.
I make a motion, we approve the 17,250 to Shiny Hills Wine Trail.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.
Item C, approval of collective bargaining agreement between Union County and Union County Sheriff's Office and FOP. We're still waiting on the final draft. I mean, everything's good. It's just a matter of getting it back from our legal department. So we'll have to table that hopefully by the next meeting. Next item, Snedeker Risk Management. Can't wait. Welcome, guys.
Good morning, gentlemen. Appreciate you having us. For those that don't know, I'm Kevin Kern. This is Jacob Jansen. This is our newest team member, Brent Williams. Brent has been with us since the first of the year. He's formerly the county treasurer over in Johnson County, so he's right here close in case there are any issues. Brent previously served not only as county treasurer, but he was also the board chair of the Hope Trust Executive Board. So he's very well versed in the Hope Trust and the healthcare benefits as well as county government. So anything that we can do, we've got a full team ready to help. We just wanted to come by and say hello. We've been through the courthouse periodically throughout the year, but it's been a while since we've been to a commissioners meeting. I'm going to let the guys talk a little bit about the Hope Trust, a couple of healthcare updates, and then I'll have a few comments on the ITR&T on the property casualty and work comp side when we're done. So, Jake, you got a few things to say?
So just wanted to kind of update you guys. When I'm not out here, I've usually worked in the office. I've been working with a lot of your members on using preferred providers. So preferred provider, what's so great about having those as an option is members can use those providers and not have any out-of-pocket costs when using those providers. So for example, some of those would be Union County's hospital, the Southeast Health, as well as Heartland there in Marion. So we encourage members to call in and, more or less, if they would like to work with us on getting to preferred providers, because that not only helps them by helping, waive their out-of-pocket costs completely, but also helps with the county and how the health plan runs, because if there is no out-of-pocket cost, members aren't getting into their deductible and out-of-pocket, which means that the county's HRA that is attached to their plan is not running. So essentially, it's helping the members and the county save on their costs essentially there. One thing that we have implemented here in the last year or two is the plan that you guys are on right now is what we call the Hope 2500 plus HRA. So what we have actually kind of went back to the drawing board and done is had plan designs where the county would take more or less a higher out-of-pocket or retention, doesn't change the members' benefits any, but in pairing that with an HRA. So essentially, we'd be able to keep the members' benefits the same, or maybe have to slightly change them. But the goal on that, at the end of the day, is to help the county with their monthly cost, help it be reduced. So we had, I would say, probably 8 to 10 of our counties do that. 2 or 3 down here that did it last year, and it's helped significantly with their monthly costs. That being said, you guys most definitely don't have to do that, but wanted to mention that because we've had so much success with the counties that we've implemented this to. So wanted to see more or less, wanted to come here and see if that was something you guys would like to explore. Once again, most definitely you don't have to do it. But I know it would take some explaining and review and everything like that, and you guys meet every couple weeks, but just wanted to mention that is an option, more or less, and if you would like us to kind of look into some avenues on, different plans to help, reduce or lower, costs for, not only the county, but the members as well, we would be happy to do that, so.
I think that's definitely something we would be interested in looking at.
Okay.
And we could save money, so.
Okay, most definitely. That was just, we implemented it last year. Brent, correct me if I'm wrong, before he actually came to work with us, Johnson County, actually switched to one of these plans, and that saved you guys significantly.
We were 2,500 plan, same as you guys, and decided to take a little bit more of a risk and went to 10,000, probably we were estimating $65,000 to $80,000 savings overall.
On a percentage basis, what would that be? 10%?
No, probably 8, I would guess, would have been closer to 8% of what ours would have been for annual spending, but I mean,
And what we also see is not only the short-term savings, but also looking down the road. None of us have a crystal ball, but we all know that health premiums, like everything else, inflation is baked into the cake. And so we're not only looking at what we're doing next year, but 5 and 10 years down the road. And with those higher deductible plans paired with the HRA, like Jake says, it will give the employees the same benefit. It tends to hold that medical inflation rate much more in check.
so I think for the advantage of the county is those preferred providers, we're seeing more and more people that are using the preferred providers. So if they're hitting those, then the HRA is not even an option. You guys don't have to worry about that because they're not incurring costs,
And I remember going to a meeting you guys had last year, I think, up at Ren Lake or somewhere, I don't remember, talking about the preferred.
And that actually brings another really good point. We actually are going to have our client conference this year, which is very educational on not only the Hope Trust, but the ICRMT side. So that's planned for late September. So I would say probably July timeframe, be looking for your invite in the mail. So if you can make it, we encourage everybody to come. Once you get there, we pay for your hotel and food and everything like that. So, really educational. A lot of people that I talk to get a lot of good information out of it. So haven't been able to have it the last couple of years, but we're going to go ahead and have it this year. So be on the lookout for your invite there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this different than the high deductible plan we already offered?
So we can actually, it wouldn't be any different. We could still offer both plans, I guess is what I'm trying, I should have mentioned there. And that would be probably another thing that we would like to do on the high deductible is also pair it with an HRA. It would work exactly the same essentially, but it would just more or less help reduce lower costs there. We could offer not only the Hope 2,500 like we have been and the 4,000 like we have been, we can still offer both of them.
Okay.
So, yeah. One would just be traditional major medical, the other one would just be the qualified high deductible, which I believe the county puts some HSA funds in there. Yep.
So these are things that we would probably want to talk to a committee about a little bit. Obviously, this wouldn't take effect until January 1st of next year, but open enrollment is in October. Plan selections have to be made August, September. So this is something that we would want to work with you on here this summer and hopefully get a plan together by the end of summer.
If we just wanted to allow enough time, if it's something you guys want to look into and or do, we just want to make sure it's implemented, with enough time and everything.
Just go ahead and communicate with Angie as you do, and I'm glad to look at whatever.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Good deal. Lastly, I just want to give a brief update on the ICRMT. We'll be working on renewals on the property casualty and work comp beginning in August. The main thing that we've been communicating with all of our counties and cities with, and it's a broken record, folks like Angie who have had to deal with this over the last year, and that's the cybersecurity. We appreciate the fact that you all have taken that very seriously. We know it's been a lot of work and a lot of little tasks that haven't always gone easily, but it's very important to implement the things that are required to maintain cyber coverage going forward. Things like encryption, multi-factor authentication if you're accessing devices off-site, staff training for everyone that works on a county computer or cell phone. That's gonna be just a way of life going forward annually. We've worked with Angie quite a lot, and I know the ICRMT has some services that they provide in order to help everyone execute those changes. So we appreciate you all staying up to date on that. Other than that, we appreciate all that the department heads do. Everyone's great to work with. Angela on the health benefits, Angie's great at keeping the trains running on time as far as the property casualty goes. So as always, if you have any questions or if there's anything that we can do, don't hesitate to give us a call.
Well, I personally want to thank you guys. I mean, you have been a big asset for the county since we switched over to you on everything. And it's as things you can. Most of these guys can. We save a lot of money, and you guys are really great.
We appreciate you saying it. Let us know if there's ever anything that we can help
Any
with.
county or city that doesn't have to look at you, they're missing the boat. That's all I'll say.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do need to go into executive session. It won't take but 5 minutes to discuss pending litigation. I'll make a motion that we go to executive session for pending litigation.
Second.
Commissioner Harville?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Toller?
Yes.
Commissioner Gould?